Hey, family. Welcome back to the channel. Happy 2024. It is here. We at the door. I wanted to say welcome aboard to all my new subscribers. I posted that Bob Marley CD because that is my favorite CD, and I probably listened to it a million times. But I got over 5,000 views and I got like 150 subscribers from just that CD. So if you're here for Bob Marley, I probably will get some more of his good music up on my channel now that I know. I know. But I did want to say welcome aboard. I know there's going to be a lot of you who might click on these videos and start hearing some stuff that you never heard before. But if you got the Bob Marley vibe, you're in the right place, man. You're in the right place. For real. Just listen and you'll see Bob called you. That was a voice crying in the wilderness. He said, slave driver, your table has turned. Should be my mic. Catch a fire, you're gonna get burned. Yo, he said, every time I hear the crack of a whip, my blood runs cold. I remember on the slave ship how they brutalize a very soul. He said, today they say that we are free, only to be chained in poverty. Good God, I think it's illiteracy, only a machine that make money. Slave driver, table is turned. So, Book of Ishshah. Now, this is really exciting. We already read about Ishshah and the frog, and now we're going to read about Ishshah and the starving man and the thankful bee. And all these stories are connected, so she saved this bee in the last story. So you might have to go back, watch that video. And I don't know if you guys haven't seen the very first video. It's a couple months old. It's called the Book of Ishshah. It's where I talked about her, who she was, who she is, and whose her children is, and who her baby daddy is, and all of that. I talked about that in that Book of Ishshah. And that's major heavy information. I mean, you're hearing these stories you may not know. It's Enoch's mother. Ishshah is Enoch's mother. These stories in the Holy Megillah are teaching us about universal law. And what that is, and this book is exciting because it's really about one day in the way of Ishshah and how she lived her life. And it said in the very beginning that, yea, behold the example of the lady of the forest, she whom the animals loved as their mother. Lo, even the insects and the plants loved Ishshah as mother. The wisest of humankind also embraced the green lady, though the ignorant rejected her. But though the ignorant reject her, the dancing green woman rejects none. Yea, she of the green robe loves every child of creation as her own. Wherefore it was Ishshah who, after her life as a human, became the messenger angel of the Mother Earth. Says, consider well her example, for I tell you truly, her example is the path to be walked by all of those of the way. We're getting into chapter 3, okay? And I'm going to actually do 3, 4, and 5 because chapter 6 is about Peter Hoppen. And if you're not familiar with the Holy Megillah, he's one of these people that were granted immortality. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this book. And this is the story of how he was granted his immortality. So not tonight, but that'll be on the next video. But tonight we're going to get to Ishshah and the fly, and Ishshah, the starving man, and the thankful bee. Those are the two stories that we're going to cover tonight. But okay, guys, so what I do want you to look at again while I'm reading is the awesome map of the universe that I have been sharing. All right, so I got Stellarium open the observatory that I look at, right? And I have this map of the universe, and I wanted to show you the side by side. Well, if I click on either one, only one is going to show. So I'm just going to show you. You see how Aquarius is? This red line is called the celestial equator. And you see how he's laying down. And Capricorn in this picture is bigger than Aquarius. They're parallel. Over here, they drew his arm bent to match these knees. See that? I just wanted you to see that. One of his legs is bent. So they bent his arm here, and they made Capricorn small, and they put him in this horizontal position and connected him to Fomalhaut. But look down here. This is Fomalhaut down here on this map. Fomalhaut. See it? It's kind of fuzzy. But he's not connected to Aquarius. Whatever they got over here with this Aquarius, it looks like the water or the spirit or whatever he's pouring out. One of the fish from Pisces is swimming in that. And it's dipping down here like that, almost reaching Fomalhaut. But I was showing you that they have this, they connected all of this as one and put Aquarius the other way. And this is Ishah, the starving man, and the thankful bee. After leaving Ezra the frog to his duties at the pond, Ishah had continued her daily walk. Soon she came upon a man lying beside the path. Lo, the man seemed to be in pain, so she asked, "May I be of help?" The man replied, "I fell and injured my leg many days ago. Since then I have been unable to walk, and because I have been unable to walk, I have been unable to obtain food. The pain in my leg is terrible, and I am starving. Can you help me?" Ishah examined the man's injured leg and saw that it was dislocated. She could easily heal this, and did so, pushing the dislocated leg back into alignment. Behold, the man's pain vanished, and he felt great relief. But the man was still in need of food. Ishah knew that there was no fruit trees in this area, so she kneeled and offered up a prayer. Yea, Ishah prayed for food for the hungry man. Lo, Jah works in mysterious ways, and sometimes our prayers are answered in ways we would never imagine. Behold, Ishah's prayer was answered, but in a surprising way. Buzzing overhead when she uttered the words of her prayer was a bee. Not just any bee, but the very bee that Ezra had witnessed Ishah save from the pond. Yea, this was the bee that had nearly drowned, and this bee, now flying overhead, heard the words of Ishah's prayer, and he understood the words, for behold, not only could Ishah understand the languages of all living things, but all living things could understand her voice. Hearing her prayer, the bee told her, "I will bring food." Ishah could not imagine how such a tiny creature might bring enough food to satisfy a large man, but she had faith in the promise of the bee and waited for his return. Lo, soon the bee returned, and he was not alone. Every bee from his hive was overhead, each carrying a bit of honey. One by one, the bees flew over the open hand of the hungry man, filling his hand with honey. 3 times they filled his hand with honey. After this meal, the man had energy enough to walk the many miles to his home, where he had plenty of food. Chapter 4. Ishah, the Ant, and the Raisin. As the man walked away, Ishah noticed that he accidentally stepped on an ant. After the man was gone, Ishah examined the ant. He was not badly injured. His leg was sore, but not broken. Ishah placed the ant on the palm of her hand and prayed for his healing. The ant was healed. She put the ant on the ground, and he happily returned to his work. The sun was now high in the sky, and Ishah perceived that it was time for her noon contemplation. For being a Nazarene priestess, she followed the path of the Bahir Shabbatim, or you might say it, the Bahir Shabbatim. She followed it. Yea, this was her way, and she performed her noon peace contemplation and meditated. And after her meditation, she was hungry, for this day she had not yet eaten. Then she saw an amazing thing. Behold, marching towards her on the ground was what looked like a walking raisin. The raisin continued to move towards her, then stopped before her feet. Then, lo, Ishah saw that this was no walking raisin. Rather, it was an ant carrying a raisin. Yea, it was the very ant whose leg she had just healed. The ant, speaking in the manner that ants speak, said, I bring you lunch, my lady. He dropped the raisin at her feet. Ishah thanked the ant and then ate the one raisin. In truth, as she afterward told the ant, this was the best meal she had ever eaten. All right, so we're at chapter 5, Ishah and the fly. Ishah continued on her way, and she walked the path until she came to the hut of a man and woman whom she often visited. Yea, she had been teaching them of the Nasarean way. This day, Ishah taught them a new lesson. Behold, as she sat at the table in the home speaking of the Nasarean way, a bothersome fly darted around the room. Ishah was not bothered by the fly, but her hosts were, for it kept pestering them. Yea, the pesky fly landed on the man's head, then on the wife's head, then on a table, then on the man's foot. Always the fly escaping just before the man could catch her. Finally, feeling very bothered, the man got a small branch that he had often used for swatting flies and tried to kill the fly. Ishah said, if Sister Fly is bothering you, you need not kill her. I will show you another way. Then behold, Ishah got up and opened the door of the home. She said, now, with your mind, direct Sister Fly out the door. Yea, within your mind, see Sister Fly so depart. Then the man and his wife began to concentrate, and lo, the fly flew out the door. Sister Fly no longer pestered the people, and yet, through the compassion of Ishah, her life was spared. All right, so we're here at chapter 6 now. This is, like I said, this is about Peter Hoppen. This is the fly and the injured man. You want to get the next video. It's going to be exciting. All right, so stay tuned for that, guys. Slave driver, your table has turned. Catch a fire, you're gonna get burned. Every time I hear the crack of a whip, my blood runs cold. I remember on the slave ship how they brutalize the very soul. They say that we are free, only to be chained in poverty. Good God, I think it's illiteracy. Only a machine that make money.